Hello, beautiful one. Welcome to Art and Soul Insider. My name is Barbara Lynn Burns, and I guess I'm your guide for today. Today we're going to cover all things dealing with art and wellness, like we do every week. This week we have a really nice guided meditation. It's called the Imagined Oasis. And then we're going to also look at a supply that some might not consider an art supply, but I use it in my art projects, so I'm going to share that with you. And we've got a really neat art project, which we are going to be using Asemic Writing. If you don't know what that is, hang on. I'll explain everything, and it's going to be step by step. It's going to be very intuitive, the painting and everything like that. So I hope you join me. And then we've got a oracle reading, a one-card oracle reading, but we kind of ended off with something for you to think about and to carry on as you carry on your day. So I really believe art heals, and the more art you do, the less stress. The reason why I believe this is it's a testament in my life, and the fact that, I've had an alcoholic parent. I grew up in a church that was very toxic. I then got married and was emotionally abused. And then from there, I became a workaholic with my teaching profession, which, I loved, but I worked too hard. And then I got cancer. My parents died. I have a growth in my spine. So, a lot of things have happened in my life. And I know a lot of things have happened in your life. So I view this time for us to come together to just rest and relax, and just to try to put the world away just for a moment and just give yourself some time. And I really would love for you to join me. So if that interests you, we'll see you in the guided meditation. Here I said it was going to be the guided meditation. What I meant to say is it's our featured supply I'm going to focus on first. But anyways, so the featured supply, as I mentioned to you in the intro, it's something that, a lot of people use day to day, and they don't really consider it an art supply. But I do, because I use it to add to my work. Or if I'm doing line drawings, I want to do something a little more colorful, I'll add these. Or if I'm doing, say, a hatching, a drawing with the technique called hatching, I will use these as well. So, okay, let's just open my book where I have, this is like excess paint that I was painting with. This is experimentation. This is kind of a finished piece. I kind of have a bit of everything in here. And I do a lot of practice and stuff like that. So what I'm going to show you, actually I'm going to use the back side first, is these. These are gel pens. They're not regular pens, they're gel pens. And how you can tell it's a gel pen is on the bottom, right on the tip here, when it's brand new, it'll have a little ball on it. You see that ball? Right there. And what you do is you pull it off, okay? You can throw this away, put it aside, do whatever you want. And it's ready to go. You get wonderful colors, pay off, okay? And what I love about these, even in my personal life, they are so smooth to write with, okay? But, as I mentioned, I use them for my artwork. We also have ones that are white, okay? So, you can get these on Amazon. These ones are called by PaperMate. They're InkJoy gel 0.7. The 0.7 means how big it is. So it's 0.7 of a millimeter. Okay, millimeters are tiny, but it's a 0.7, and that's how thick the line is. So here's the white. Now this white is kind of hasn't worked the best for me. Yeah, you see, it's not working that great. It kind of drags. I got to get a new one, I think. But anyways, here I'm trying to show you how it works, and it does work, but this one isn't right now. So put that one aside. I'm looking if I have another white. I do. Let's see if this one works. Oh, it's not working for me today with these. The white says no. I have silver, okay? And I'm going to color them in so you can kind of see them instead of the line work. See that? It's a silver, okay? Then there's gold. Okay, so you can do a gold one. Okay, really nice. If you don't have gold paint or anything like that, you can use this, okay? I find it works really well. And I'm going to be using these in today's project, in the Asemic Writing that we're doing. So here's green, okay? So here's the yellow. Here's the lime green. There's a lot more colors. I have just used them. Here's the orange. Oops. See, a lot of these, oops, you can tell which colors I haven't used that much. There's orange. Okay. This one is the same brand. I'm not sure whether this is the old style. I think this is the old style with the clicker. Okay. And this is the new one with the just straight up. So then you get a red. Okay. You get a blue. And brown. Yep, there we go. There's brown. And even a pink. Now there's other colors as well, as I mentioned. I have just used them, so we don't have them. There we go. So you see, any color, and it works especially in watercolors, not so much with acrylics, but you can go on top and you can do line designs. You can do little shapes, you know, like, right? I mean, it just works really well. I use it for detailing. I use it for the Asemic writing. I even use it for my personal writing in my journal. If I want to add some color, this is what I use. So if you're interested, and they are a little bit, not pricey, but they're more expensive than regular pens, help yourself to some gel pens and get a better white than I did. Usually it works really well, but today I guess it's camera shy. So there you go. Try them out and have some fun. So welcome to our guided meditation. So today we're going to go and travel to an imagined oasis, a place where you find peace, a place that has all the things that surround you, the sights, the sounds, the smells of things that you love. So we're going to be doing that in a bit. This is a work that I have not shown. I've done a work similar. Let's see, I think it's the next one over. Here we go. Okay. So I did one similar, but this is a little different where I decided to make some of the things, the leaves on the foreground pop out a bit more and just color them solid. So this work has not been done yet, but if you're interested, like some others, people have really liked some of the ones I've showed in your guided meditation, you can request and say, hey, Barb, I'd really like for you to do one of those. So just let me know, and I'll be happy to recreate this for you in a video. So sit back, lie down. Some people even like standing, but I prefer sitting or lying down, because that way you can truly relax, because you have the ground underneath supporting you if you're lying down, or the sofa, or the chair is supporting you. So then when you relax, you don't have to worry about toppling over if you're standing up. So sit back, relax, and close your eyes. Picture a relaxing place. It could be a beach, a mountaintop, a forest, or anywhere you find peace. Imagine what you see in your imagined oasis. Imagine what you hear in your imagined oasis. What do you smell in your imagined oasis? Start to breathe in slowly, allowing the air to fill your lungs. Hold your breath for a moment. Slowly release your breath as you continue to picture your surroundings. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you smell? As you take another breath, feel any tension you're holding on to drain from your muscles. As you breathe in and out, let go of any negative thoughts from the day. Free your mind of worry as you continue to picture your happy place. Draw from the serenity of this moment. Allow the calmness of your imagined oasis to wash away your worries and drain the tension from your muscles. So breathe in, hold, and exhale. Breathe in, hold, exhale slowly. Breathe in, hold, and exhale slowly. Visit here again whenever you like to relax and to instill a sense of calm. You can also visit other areas you find relaxing. The choice is yours. But remember, you can always come back for an escape from the tension and stress of everyday life. And when you're ready, open your eyes and stretch. This is a very short but sweet one. And I really like this one because it's easy to remember. You know, in those stressful moments that you can have during the day where, you know, you're in line and the traffic is just crazy. It's so slow. You can do this relaxation with your eyes open and just imagine your oasis. Imagine a place where you'd like to be. Picture that. Think of the smells, think of the sights, think of what you could hear there. And imagine that. Okay? Again, with your eyes open. And just breathe into that. Slow your breathing down. And that's all you have to do. It's so easy to remember. Now, this one I mentioned to close your eyes, and I forgot to mention in the beginning, sorry about that, some of you don't like to close your eyes when you're doing something like this. I understand. That's why I have the image here. It's for those that don't want to close their eyes. Again, this is something that you can use anytime, and it's easy to remember, and it's short but sweet. I mean, you can extend it longer. You can imagine yourself going for a walk in your imagined place, you know, in your oasis. You know, you're walking down the beach and you find a path and you go along that path, and, you know, you can imagine these things and they'll add to your relaxation. But again, short but sweet, this one, and I hope you'll use it in the future. And again, these are all time-stamped, all my videos. You can come back to this specific guided meditation if you want, and you can listen to it over and over again if that serves you. So please do. Okay, welcome to the art project. We are now going to begin an abstract with Asemic writing in it. The Asemic writing will be right at the end, but we'll go through the abstract and I'll explain what I'm doing, and I will you know, give you some extra hints in case you don't have the supplies that I have, what you could use instead. But what I'm going to do is show you what I have right now and where I'm kind of thinking with the supplies. So I've got my One Philosophy watercolor palettes. One is called Decadent Pies. Okay. It has a bronze, gold, silver, and a kind of a pearlized one there. And then it has kind of the deeper, darker colors. Not colors I usually use, but I'm feeling kind of fall right now. As I look out my basement window, I'm seeing a lot of yellow leaves. Now, in northern Alberta, we don't get a lot of, well, red. That is more eastern Canada, eastern United States, where they get those beautiful reds. We don't get that here. It's just more of a sea of yellow, and we have got lots of green because of all our evergreens that we have. It's quite beautiful, you know, and we have a valley, and it is just breathtaking. I'm just, oh, I love our little town. Anyways, so yeah, this is going to be palette I'm going to be using because I'm wanting kind of those deeper fall-like colors. Now I'm using the complexion one. It's the One Philosophy Connection. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's start again. Anyways, complexion. I was going to try to make a joke there, and I totally ruined it. So we're starting over again. So complexion, and it's One Philosophy. I just brought this along because it does have some really nice browns. Now, if I'm doing these more just to show you that you can get collections with browns in them. But you know, you can have lots of beautiful browns and variations of browns using the siepas and the umbers in the regular watercolors. Yeah, they have burnt and raw sienna as well. So lots of, you know, amazing colors. So this kind of makes it a little bit easier. And this is a wonderful palette. If you're wanting to do complexions and you're just starting out and you're not too sure how to make all those browns and all that, well, you could get something like this, and that can be a really good starting point for you. Again, it's those browns and everything that I'm kind of looking for in this project. I've got my InkJoy pens. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the green, the gold, because we're going to be using the browns. You see what I mean? The gold and the brown, probably. Those are, you know, the ones I'm going to be using. That's what I'm thinking. Who knows? Sometimes all of a sudden I just think and I go, I think I'd like this better. I've brought some things for mark making. So, good old bubble wrap, an old sponge that I've cut up. I've got lots of little tiny pieces, bigger pieces of this. And this was actually a cardboard holder of a lipstick that I got, and it came in this protective package, but this really works well. It doesn't work so great with watercolors or acrylic ink, but I've got some fluid acrylics and some acrylics that might work. So I've got that, okay. I've got this is an eyeglass cleaner, but it's empty, it's full of water. My other one broke. Yes, it finally broke after so many years. So plastic really does wear down sooner or later. So this is to spray my watercolors, to activate them, to get them ready for paint. Because right now, if I take my brush like this, nothing's happening, okay? So what the water does is it activates, it gets it ready, and you can then use it. I also have some tape because I'm going to create some borders around here, and I'm actually going to be creating three works. Oh, speaking of 3 works, let's look at the paper here. This is Academy watercolor paper pad. It is 15. It says 14.9, but let's go 15 by 5.1, and it is by Bung Hong. Bao Hung, Baohong. I apologize if I totally brutalize this. It's 100% cotton. It's 300 grams per meter squared. I believe that's about 120. I'm thinking. I think it's about that. So it's a good number. Okay. I mentioned tape. The acrylics that I'm going to bring along for the ride, and this is more for when I'm adding details on top. This is craft paint, okay? Craft acrylic paint. Make sure you shake it up really well. So this is burnt sienna, and this is burnt umber. But, I mean, you can use your watercolors if you want, but again, as I'm saying, I'm going to be using these type of things, so I need something that's heavier. So even though this has more water content in it compared to my regular acrylics, this will be a lot better than the watercolors. Yeah, so, you know, you can use these paints to paint. There's nothing wrong with painting with these ones, okay? Sometimes people go, oh, it's just craft paint. Paint, if it makes you happy, use it. Okay, and here is fluid acrylic paint. Okay, this is by Golden, and this is an iridescent copper light. So you get this beautiful copper. See that? And this is iridescent gold, deep. Again, the reason why you see some dark lines underneath it, that means this is semi-transparent or transparent because you can see what's underneath. So whatever's underneath this paint, that you put this paint on top, it will show through. Okay, so it's not really as solid as as some people might want. So I'd say then find an acrylic, not a fluid acrylic. Use just a regular acrylic. But I don't think I have a regular acrylic gold. Yeah, I don't think I do. Interesting, considering I like using it. Okay, so the paper. What if you don't have this type of paper, okay, or this length? Have no worries. I've done this, what I'm going to show and share with you today in my journal, okay? So, you know, the good old mixed media journal works really well. I tape it just inside of there to actually get a nice frame, because you don't need to tape the paper down. I don't need to tape the paper down here either, because this is a pad, and it's one of those pads that's kind of glued all the way around, except for an opening where at the end, then that's how you separate it all. So I'm taping it more just to have a nice frame around it. Okay, so I took my ruler and I did 5 by 5 by 5, roughly, because it's 14.9. But to the eye, visually, this will look all the same. Okay, so I've done that. I'm going to put my ruler away. Okay, now I'm going to tape. So I'm going to explain why I'm taping the way I am, and then I'll probably fast forward it because, well, I'm just taping. So I'm only going to cover half of this. So I'm going to take my tape like this, okay? Instead of covering the whole thing like that, I'm only going to cover half. Now, how can you tell? You're going to have to eyeball it. It might be a little off. Yeah, I think this one's thinner than that one. I'm okay with that. We're not looking for perfection. If this was a work that I was doing on a commission, yeah, I would be working it a little bit better. So here, I've actually made lines that I can actually kind of see through. Okay, so I'm going to put that kind of in the middle. And then once I feel that's pretty good, I'm going to put my tape down. Then once everything's done, I'm going to erase the line at the end. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do halfway all the way around, and then finding the middle and putting it straight down. So there we go. Okay, now let's make sure the tape is down, because I'm going to make this kind of watery. We're going to be swimming in watercolors. The key is I want this to be fun and intuitive for you. So what I mean by intuitive, I mean I want you just to go, oh, I think I want to put this color in now. I think I want to do this color. Trust that, okay? Trust that. I'm going to put my little swatch cards up and away, okay? And then I'm going to take this water, okay, and I'm going to spray. I'm not going to, it doesn't matter if I get this wet, because I'm going to be doing some wet on wet. Okay, see how it's glistening? That's perfect, okay? I also have a hair dryer, okay? Oh, and also I forgot to mention, I do have some pencil crayons. I just might want to use that. So I'm just actually going to use this and spray down that. Let's get our brush going. Okay. So I have a number, this is a number 8? 3? It's starting to rub off. And it's See Me Art. Okay, so let's just put some colors down. So if you want to make something as a series like this, these are 3 different pictures, what you can do is you can, I find, try and use similar colors, okay? And the fact with that works really well then, and it ties them together, okay? So you notice I'm just picking these colors out. Oh, and then I saw a green. I think I'm going to add a green. I was going to make this all brown, but that's talking about the intuition. There my intuition kicked in and said, nope, let's add that green. Oh, isn't that nice? Getting some nice green in there. If you want to make it a little bit more, grab some more paint and just kind of dab it in there to get some darker areas coming and happening. And it'll spread out. Bring in some of that other color down in there. Okay. I'm probably going to get some blossoms. Now, what are blossoms? Blossoms are when you have your water wet, when you have your paper wet, but your brush is wetter. Okay, so there's moisture in your paper, but what happens is then you have your brush and it has more water in. So I want to get this done before I show you the example of what I'm showing, because I want to show you a visual kind of what it is. I'm going to bring in a little bit more of that green over here. Remember, watercolors are always going to dry lighter. So you go, oh, I love these colors the way they're looking right now. Know that when they dry, it will be lighter. That's a little too much. See, that's a little too much of one color there. So I'm wanting to introduce another color. It's another brown. It's very warm browns I'm noticing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I do have a darker brown. See how this is too much of one color? I'm going to bring in some of this dark brown. There we go. It's kind of a reddy brown. You see that? Let's bring some of it down here, too. Add a little bit in here on the side. Water is wet. Yes, we've already established that. And what happens is your paper's wet as well, and your brush. Okay, so when your paper's wet and it's starting to dry, okay, and it's really absorbing that water really well, and then you come along with a brush and it's loaded with water, okay, and you go and you dab your brush into your paper that is starting to dry already, and what happens is this then pushes the paint out, okay? And what happens is then you get these little cauliflower or blossoms, they're called. Now, I'm going to try and see if I can find any in this. Nothing so far. I'm gonna dry my brush. So you can take a paper towel or just, be kind to the environment. I use a cloth that I then wash over and over again. So I'm going to dry this, and I'm going to take some of this color, and I'm going to take the green and just kind of, oh, I need a little bit more. I'm doing little dots here. It's not really showing up that well because I need it a little bit more wet to pick up the paint. So I'm putting in some texture, starting to, okay? Putting in some variation. Now you can make the dots bigger by putting more pressure on your brush. You can press down, but I'm just wanting tinier dots. There we go, just to kind of fill the space. And they're going to dry, and they're going to dry not that evident. You know, they're going to be there, but you're not really going to notice them as much as some of the later on marks that I'm going to make. Okay, so I'm going and putting some of this into the brown there. Let's put some of that into the brown here. Just to add something. I'm going to add something a little more at the top here. You can add dots, you can add lines, you can add more color to it. Again, the key is to have your brush drier and not have so much water in it, because what's going to happen is it'll then, you know, do those blossoms. But sometimes, especially in an abstract, I kind of like those blossoms. But right now, what I'm going to do is blow dry. Okay, how can you tell it's dry? Well, if your paper feels cool to the touch, that means it still has some moisture in it. Yep, feeling a little cool still. So it must be wet underneath. So let's keep going. I can build up color. Now, how can you build up color? Well, you can build up color with watercolor with a technique called glazing. So glazing is taking the same color or even another color and putting a light wash over top of it. So it's not using your paints really heavy, but it's using them in a softer way that you'll then get more three-dimensional. So this is kind of, oh, there's some stuff happening here. So which one did I use? That's sometimes when I'm going with the flow, I forget which paints I actually used. So I'm thinking I use this one. So this is going to build up the color in some of the areas, and it's going to really just have a greater effect. So we'll get more variation of that color. So you can even take your paint like this and pull it along like that to get some texture, see? It's kind of far away. You're far away, so you might not see it, but see how it pulled? Like that. And then you can leave it like that inside here, or you could go ahead and deepen it again. I'm going to deepen some of it. I'm going to let some show through. Okay. There we go. So let's do that over here. Taking the paint, I'm going to just get a little more water. Don't want it too wet, but I don't want it too thick either. Okay, so I'm going to pull the paint again. There we go. There. Okay. See that? It's a little bit more of a pull. So you get some really nice kind of line work happening there, but also it's a variation of, right? Some variation. And that's what it creates visual interest, is you have things that are different. If everything's the same, well, that's a sense of unity. But if you have too much unity, that things look too similar, it might be too much. Okay? And nothing's going to stand out. There's nothing wrong with repeating an element. So an element is line, shape, color, form, texture. I think I'm missing one. Space. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes we need something little, well, we need the variation. But again, the same goes with that. Like with the, if we have too much the same, the unity, it's too much. And if we have too much contrast and things that are different, it's like, whoa, you know, what am I looking at? It's almost too much for the eye to take. Do I want to deepen any colors? I'm kind of liking the colors as they are. I might bring that red a little bit more, that reddy brown. I'm wanting the green to be a little more intensified in these two, kind of to, not to match, but kind of work with that one. I'm just going to add some more in the corner here, just to deepen it up. Oh, and there's same corner. It's kind of interesting. So we're just going to add some more in here as well. Like that. Just a little variation. This looks a little too bland here. So the color I used was, I think it was this one. So I'm just going to bring some more of that color in and do kind of a glaze on top and have some light of it show through. That was just a little too light there. So now what I'm going to do, blow dry it, and I'm going to introduce some of the acrylics. So I'm going to just put these up here for a moment. In frame still. Sometimes I get so involved in my painting that I kind of not forget that you're here, but I'm in the zone. So I think both of these will actually work quite well. Okay. So this is the burnt umber. So it's a deeper, richer brown. Okay. That's more of a cool brown. And this is a burnt sienna, which means it's a little more of a red brown. So again, as I mentioned, craft paints are have a little more water, not a little more, have more water, okay, in them. So what it does is they work differently than regular acrylics. So I'm hoping these are going to be thick enough. I've never tried these, okay? I've used my other paints for this, but I just wanted to show you a variety of paints and things that you can do, okay? Because a lot of times, I think sometimes people get a little scared of art because of, well, the supplies seem daunting. So that's why I'm using craft ones as well. I want to get some lines going in here. So I'm going to get a brush, okay? So this is one of acrylic brushes. What's the difference between a watercolor brush and an acrylic brush is this is made to soak up water, okay? This is meant to get paint on it, okay? So there's big differences between these two brushes. So I'm going to go for the lighter one. My intuition says use the lighter one, or the warmer one. Press down. There we go. It's a nice little effect, so it did work. You see that? So a good idea is look around your house. Find things with texture. I know, like I have that sponge, right? So the sponge works really well. But you know, you can get other things like this. When I saw this came with a thing of lipstick, I was like, I can use that. Only thing is, something like this, it only has a limited time of use, right? Because after some time, this cardboard is going to get a little weak, and oh, that didn't work very well. Just, it's been used and it wants to rest now. Oh, I got my brush on it. That's okay. I got a little dab of brown. That works okay. That's kind of like a little fuzzy. That's not as clear as the other ones. Because as I mentioned, this one's getting a little tired, right? Let's try the darker one now. So this is actually a form of printmaking, okay? This is where you take something and you press to apply the paint. And when you press to apply the paint, that is called printmaking. So there you go. You're doing some printmaking here, and you never even knew you were a printmaker. I'm going to add it all the way down. Make it look like a continuous line, like a big stamp of lines. I like that. You know what? I'm going to kind of hide these. I'm going to do the same on this side. Intuition again. Letting it go. I might have dragged some of my print on it. Oh, well, we will find out. There we go. So you see how that kind of hides it a little bit more? The circles aren't as evident, so they look a little hidden. So that's kind of what I wanted. Even though they're the same kind of color, right? I wanted it kind of that way. I'm going to bring one down here. Again, using the same dark brown. I'm liking the dark brown. The reddy brown, what was it? The burnt sienna is very much, it blends in really well with this, you know, it's looks really good. But the burnt umber is that much deeper and darker, so it provides greater contrast. And that's what you want in your work. Remember, you don't want it all looking the same. I'm going to put this away for it to dry. Put it there, I guess. Here's my quandary. This is where I'm kind of thinking. I want to do the Asemic Writing, and I'll explain what that is in a minute, in gold. Okay, I'm going to go with my first thought and share it with you. My first thought was to do the Asemic Writing with this gold pen, okay? That's what I was going to do. And then have this all muted browns, you see? And so what will happen is the Asemic Writing will pop because it's a contrast. It's a contrast not because it's using lines, because we've got lots of lines here, but because it's a different color and it's metallic. So that contrast is going to make it pop out, okay? Another option that I just thought when I was doing that, and that's when I paused there, I could add the gold, okay, or the bronze, or the copper, with dots here, okay? Then, using the brown, I could then do the writing with. I don't want to, if I add gold, I don't want to add too much if I use the gold. You see what I mean? That might be too much. Let me do some sponging, okay? Again, that's another form of printmaking. I'm going to mix the umber and the raw sienna, it's the burnt sienna together. Okay, kind of creates a different brown. Oh, making enough here. I think I'm getting enough there. I think it's starting to get too busy. Even with the sponge on, I think I should have left it. But I'm going to do some sponge down here. Yeah, it's starting to get a little too busy. A little too dark. Yeah. One thing, again, I think I would have kept it off. So we could add the gold. This is really nice and light. Okay, you see, I'm going to try and open it here. There we go. See, it's a brighter gold. This is more of a deeper color. That doesn't work. Oh, gee, it's spewing all over the place. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, and then here's the iridescent copper. I'm thinking that won't go well with my ink pen. So I'm going to put that down. Now again, I still have the option of adding the brown, but I'm thinking the brown might be too much. See how it's already brown? I wish I had some a lighter brown to print make with. So I'm going to then use this gold, and I'm going to add gold as well as doing my Asemic Writing. Okay, so took a little bit, okay, of that. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to go over this like that. Okay, so this liquid acrylic is more liquidy than regular acrylic. Oh, that actually works well. It still kind of goes, it looks like it's in this color here, but it's a little metallic. I like that. That was a happy little bonus for me there. Okay, and over the brown, it works really well. It just takes that lightness and just kind of plays with that. Part of me is saying do it here because it's kind of, but then it's here and here there. So actually what's going to work best for this one is it's up there. There we go. And just do it like that. Taking the work as it is by itself, not as a whole. You know, sometimes you, that's the thing with working as a series. You have to think of them together, but you also have to think of them individually. Each has to be strong in of itself, okay? That's what makes it a good series. Okay, because this is acrylic, it's called liquid acrylic. Because this is acrylic, we have to wash this good with soap and water, okay? Don't let your brush dry with it in your brush. Now with that, I'm just going to put this aside, and I'm going to tell you about Asemic Writing. Okay, Asemic Writing, okay, this is what Wikipedia said, and I actually looked it up. It's without the smallest unit of meaning. So you look at it and you go, I know that looks like writing, but I can't understand what it reads. Well, like, what does it, it's not making sense. I can't figure out any word in it. It's like, you know, they consider doctors really bad, you know, in their penmanship. Well, kind of same thing. You can't tell the person's name by what they signed. You know, it's, so what happens with this type of writing, it's actually left for the reader to fill in and interpret what it actually means to them. Okay, so what does it mean to you? So you have to figure out. Now, I find with this, my Asemic Writing, I have to kind of practice and play with it for a bit. Okay, you want to have some recognition of letters, etc. in it, but you don't want it to spell anything. What I like to do is just kind of get my pen and my paper going, just get my hand kind of moving in different kind of shapes, you know, just to get it going. Because what happens if we all of a sudden try and start to do this, it won't work. Now, you might need a whole piece of paper to figure this out. Sometimes I do too. I have some other pieces of Asemic Writing. I just went into a other journal that I had that I was playing with and doing stuff. Let me try and find, I think it's in here. Ah, here's one. Here's 2. There we go. There you go. Okay, you see that? It's hard to see because it's in silver. But that's Asemic Writing. So, you know, I think I could just maybe tighten it up a little bit more. Don't forget to go high, like, you know, with your H's and your L's that you do, right? And don't forget to go low, like a J or G's. So practice and play, and then when you feel ready, okay, bring out that pen. Now, I want to make sure everything's dry, though, right? So I'm just going to give it a few more minutes while I'm cleaning up my palette. I like cleaning up my palette when it's a little wet, because then, oh shoot, I I like to save some of my paint. But what I do, you see, this is with leftover paint, you know, and then I add that paint to these things, see? So I forgot. So therefore, you're not wasting any paint, right? Good old Scotty Burns, I tell you. And then I'm going to just wash that palette off well. So I'm going to blow dry it. Practicing my writing before I begin. That feels good. So I'm not going to use my black pen. I'm going to use the gold pen. So let's make sure that the gold pen works, right? Because we don't want to start writing and it not working. Now, this is cold pressed paper, so it has a little bit of a tooth on it, okay? So I just have to be aware that it might grab my pen when I'm writing. So here I go. There we go. So the gold is there, but it's not really powerful. It really shows up when we're on the darker values, right? You see that? Well, when we're on the lighter values, you can't really see it that much, but that's okay. I'm good with that. The whole idea, what I wanted with this Asemic Writing was for it to be part of the painting. Now, if I wanted it to stand out, and I have at times wanted the Asemic Writing to stand out, I've used black, okay? And black is the strongest contrast, right? The brightest, or not brightest, but you know what I mean. It's pretty bold when it's on there. So carefully, when you're peeling back, okay, just go nice and slow. Oh, we got some paint on there. That's what happens. Made it too juicy at times. I'm just going to take a little bit of my, there we go, and just take that moisture off from there. So that will show if we're going to do a floating frame thing with it. Now, how to display these. These are wonderful. If you do it in a series, you can do it 1, 2, 3 and show them in 3 frames, or you could show them 3 like this. And again, these don't have to be in the same order. With a framer, you can switch these around and flip them upside down and do whatever you want with them. And, you know, you can show them landscape, or you could do a long, thin, you know, like this, portrait. The reason why I'm not taking this one off, because this actually came on top of it. I love crisp lines. Oh, we've got some paint seeping through. But again, that is the That is the drawback from using wet on wet techniques, right? Now, this can be alleviated. Well, you don't have to have the white frame. You could have it actually framed right up against the image. Okay, so don't, if it gets like that, don't worry. You can get a mat to go right up against it, and it can be white if you want white, you know, to show it off. Go right ahead, it will work. So these are the final pieces. Now, let's have a look at them. What I love about this is I can, as I mentioned to you, I can change this up. So each piece, I can cut them out, okay? And I can flip them however I want. Now, the Asemic Writing might make it, you know, my options might be just this way, right? Because I don't know if it could look like Chinese writing or something like that going this way, you know? Not bad. Yeah, okay. So there's options. So I love that you can play with these and turn these around to find the best possible way that it is, okay? And then you can decide how you want to frame them or whatever, okay? So I really enjoyed these. Now, if you are, again, framing these, do not forget to sign on the bottom right-hand corner. Now, wherever your bottom right-hand corner is. So if I'm wanting to display this one like this, okay, I'm going to have to sign it here, okay? So, yeah. Just, it's not the way you did it, it's the way you're presenting it that you're going to sign the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, so there you go. I like the layout. I like the fact that, you know, and I really think adding that little extra gold, I think that really helped it as well, because it was getting too deep, okay? And I'm sure you saw that as well. So this way, it livened it up, it lightened it, it kind of balanced things out a bit more. And again, they all seem very well balanced, and all very unique amongst themselves. So that, I love that. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that as well. So I would love to see yours. So if you do want to share yours, please contact me. Let me know. Leave a comment, and I would love to see them. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to do is the oracle, and also I have some questions that I have you to think about, and I'd really love for you to hear them and ponder on them. Okay, so here we are for our oracle reading, our one-card oracle reading. And the whole idea that I kind of bring this into what we're doing today is just to have you listen to some words of advice and take away whatever hits your heart. Because I think we can always be learning and growing. And sometimes listening to others' ways and being open to that, we can learn. So this is a card set by Reverend Dr. Erin Haskall. I took a course from her. Wonderful lady. It was a business course, but it also dealt with the spirituality of business, instead of being an entrepreneur, viewing yourself as a soulpreneur. So this is the Spiritual Awakening, 52 Universal Law Oracle cards. Okay, really beautiful cards. Has a nice booklet with it. Okay, talks a little bit more about how to manifest using the laws, what the universal laws are, an introduction to it, how to use this booklet. They actually have different card readings you can do, okay? They don't have it actually written out, like or visually written, but they do have it there. Daily journal actions, spiritual mind treatments. What is spiritual mind treatment? You know, and then according to each card. So each card kind of has not an affirmation, but kind of, and then it goes on and explains, and then it has some journal and action at the end for you. So the cards are lovely. They have a wonderful gold there, and they're very predominant is light colors, lots of pink. Lots of pink. I'm seeing lots of it. So very feminine and beautiful set. So I'm going to take them and shuffle them. Oops, just trying to make room for myself here. So this reading is for anyone who's watching this recording. It could be relatively soon after releasing this video, or it could be years from now and someone comes upon this. And you never know when a message can hit and where it can come from. And I do believe in happenstances, you know, little miracles in the day where you go, oh my goodness, that's what I really needed to hear today, you know, like one of those. I really do believe in that. And so I can believe something like this can happen. So I also believe that in most cases, everyone can come away from this oracle reading with something that touched their heart or made them think and went, okay, I'm going to have to think about that. That's a new concept, or I never thought of it that way. You know, so I always try to look for the blessing, because I truly believe if you look for the blessing, you'll find it. So I'm going to lay the cards out. I don't do this very often, laying the cards out, but I am. So I want that top one. That one? Yeah, that's one. So here it is. The law of habit. Ignite your creativity with a pattern interrupt. So here's a woman with a beautiful sparkling dress. Behind her is a city. There's palm trees. An amazing woman, almost with a big, full, ripe, full moon behind her, and stars in the distance. And she's looking up and outward. Beautiful image. Okay, so this is the law of habit. So let's go and find the law of habit. Does it tell a number? No, it doesn't. So is this, oh, it's not alphabetical either. So that's a little tough, kind of takes a little time. Law of habit, universal law of habit, page 95. Oh, right near the end. Okay, here we go. Universal law of habit. Ignite your creativity with a pattern interrupt. You are a creator that imprints upon the automated subconscious mind. What you habitually do becomes the reality of your world. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your feelings. Your feelings become your emotions. Your emotions create the circumstances of your life, and your patterns become your karmic use of the one divine mind. Awaken the oracle within. You may experience feeling like it's a Groundhog Day. This is the inverted use of the law of habit. It might be a good time for a pattern interrupt or a vacation to get you out of your current environment. You are designed to build upon your divine creations, rising in your ability to love, express, and connect. The journal and action. Do something you have never done before today. Take a new route to work, eat at a different restaurant, talk to someone within your community that you normally would not engage with. Begin to notice how much of your life is old patterns. So the universal law of habit, ignite your creativity with a pattern interrupt. So try something new today. And if today something new was coming and watching my YouTube, I thank you for that. I sure hope you enjoyed it. And this card, I think all of us can see that, you know what? It could be something new could be in our store. So we just have to look for it and try, right? So thank you so much for joining me today. I am so happy that you took the time for yourself to be here. I know we can get so busy with life, and our to-do lists never end, it seems. So taking the time today, just stopping and pausing and focusing on you and, focus on your enjoyment or learning something new. That's a wonderful thing. And I think I know it'll come back to you. I really, really do believe that you're filling your tank when you do that. And the only way we can help others is when our tank is full. A lot of times we try to help people, but our tank is empty. We have nothing left to give because we have given so much. And it's only through rest, recreation, and feeding ourselves with what we desire and what we want and what we need is how we can then give back to others. So I'd like you to think about something. I read something from the book. I'm looking at a sheet here. It's called You Are the Magnet. The book was by Amber Lyon or Lyon, Lyon. And it's about starting something new or doing something different. And it kind of goes with what the oracle reading was, what we learned about breaking that pattern, trying something different and new. So, there's a saying about, I'm going to brutalize the saying, but there's a saying about you never know what's out there if you never leave the shore, right? It's talking about being as a sailor, and you never take your ship out into the ocean. You just hang around the shore all along. You never know what's waiting for you out there. So, desire is all you need to start. And so I'm particularly kind of focusing here basically on art or your, guided meditations and stuff like that. That, desire is all you need to start. A desire to want to learn, a desire to try something different. That's all. That's the beginning point. That's all you need. Yes, there's supplies and other things like that, but it's a good start. The desire then sets that wheel in motion where you go one step in front of another step in front of another, and then you can arrive there. So I really believe that. I love what she said here. She said, you don't have to be the best to start, but you do need to start to be the best. So even if you're not wanting to be a professional artist or anything like that, you're just doing for the pure joy of it, I congratulate you. But again, you don't have to be the best to start. I'm not expecting that. You know, it's like riding a bicycle. You did not learn how to ride a bicycle, if you learned how to ride a bicycle. You didn't learn how to do that until after loads of practice. And unfortunately, some bad spills along the way. That's what happened. But you kept trying and trying and trying. And soon enough, you're riding a bike. The same thing goes with art. You don't just all of a sudden become an artist. It takes time. It takes time to learn how to see things, learn how to mix the paint, learn how the different techniques you can use. Things like that take time. So don't expect yourself to be right there and do a perfect work every single time. It's not. To be honest, I'm laying it out. It's not going to happen. You're going to have some pretty big fails. I still fail. There's still things that I go, oh my gosh, where did that come from? And that's why I have that book where I kind of experiment and play with things. Because it's through the playing that I learn new ways of doing things, new ways of seeing things, new possibilities. It's only through that, you know? So keep trying, start, you know? That's all you have to do. Here's some questions she had too, or more points, because the last one isn't really a question or something to do. So the first one is, what have you been telling yourself that you can't do? Have you been telling yourself you can't paint? You can't do art? You know, what have you been telling yourself that you can't do? How about, can you write out a list of reasons that you could? Write out a list of reasons why you could do this. Change your mind there. How can, figure out a way that you could do this? Well, how can you do that? Well, setting up a consistent time, consistently watching my videos and maybe other people's videos, you know, that might help as well. Consistency is key, you know. Leonardo da Vinci didn't become the amazing artist and change the world like he did, not only with art, but with science and, you know, all the things that he did. Architecture. He did it because, you know, he made a list of how he could do it, you know, and through that list, then he began to do it. So the second or third thing is, write out all positive things that could come from taking action towards this dream or goal. So write out all the positive things. What amazing things, what even good things could happen from taking action on this dream that you have. And then the fourth one is, you may never feel ready for what you truly desire, but do not let that hold you back from taking action. You may never feel ready for what you truly desire, but don't let that hold you back from taking action. I love that. A lot of times we don't feel ready. You know, a lot of times life kind of happens upon us. But, you know, try. And trying is the biggest thing. Starting, desiring. Baby steps, right? You know, I look at it when a child's young, learning how to walk or trying something new. You know, you don't berate a child because they can't do something. You encourage them. You know, you say, oh, it's okay, you fell there. It's okay, come on, let's get up, let's try again. Come on, let's go walkies. You know, you do that. And you don't berate the child, you just start again. And so I encourage you to start, you know, and today was a wonderful day because you saw my video, you learned some new things, and I'm happy with that. You know, I really hope that you continue with me on this journey of discovery, of learning to be more gentle and good with yourself, you know, through art and wellness that we do here on this channel. So if you like what I did today, please like and subscribe. That really helps my channel. I'm just beginning. And your love and your appreciation through the thumbs up would really make a difference, because what it does through the algorithm of whatever, of YouTube, it actually encourages YouTube to push my videos forward. So yeah, and I want a lot of people to know just how great art is. I mean, doesn't have to be through me, but I'd like it to be. I'd like to share that journey. But yeah, so with that, I send you off with love and kindness and joy, and may there be laughter in your week to come. So until then, I'll see you next time with great love. Bye-bye.